Ugh, man. You know, I'm getting ready for my tech disconnect, which happens twice a year, where I step back from everything because we need to rest and reset. You said before, rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. So I got to thinking, let us continue on this pathway of redefining success and also time. Because for some people, and I'm going to ask you this, do you feel like your only personality trait at this moment is being busy? Is telling people how busy you are. Now, I got to tell you this, and I've already said it. Work isn't working. The way we work right now is not working. That's a whole nother topic that I really have tabled, so it is coming. But work isn't working. And we have gotten to this place where we have glorified overwork, exploiting others, including ourselves, by putting all of our time and energy and just genius into someone else's dream and leaving ourselves crumbs. Not taking our PTO, not taking time to rest. This whole idea of I gotta go, go, go. And if I'm sitting still, something's wrong. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to remember, really, I'm trying to remember when I figured out that giving 80% was good enough. It was enough. And I want to say maybe it happened when I started working with our technology team in my former life. And I got a chance to look at how they would push out updates on the software that we use. This is proprietary software that the company built for what we did. So it's built around our level of service and what we offer to customers. And they had this thing called stories. I think the tool was pivotal. And you could see all these stories, and there were mad bugs on this, page. It's got like 3 columns. And there was a clear understanding that even if this software had like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20% of some issues, it's going to be okay. Because as long as they can do this, this, and this, it's fine to go ahead and push it out. They were never going for 100 because there's always something else coming. We're always evolving, right? So you're never at 100 ever. And I thought, they're putting out 80%. 80% is good enough to deliver the level of customer service you want to deliver, for the team to be able to do what they have to do to make the money that we all want to make. Go. And I was like, well, why am I working so hard? Why am I working so hard? I don't understand. So let me get into our topic today. Let me get into it because I want to go there. I want to talk about our topic and how we have this thing about being busy, being on the go, 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 not able to stop and take time for ourselves. We have been glorifying it. There is this false god of busyness. And our society, this modern culture, likes to reward people who are on the brink of burnout and breakdown. I don't understand that. I don't get it. But for some people, all of this has now impacted how we see our self-worth and also our mindset. It's crazy. Now, for those of us who are content creators, solopreneurs, freelancers, entrepreneurs, all the things, it gets in our head too, because we have this idea that if we're not pushing out content 23 out of the 24 hours of a day, something's wrong. If we are not constantly on the grind and visible, something is wrong. Make it make sense. Now, clearly we are at a place, and I'm inviting all of you to be at the same place of walking that back and burning that bitch. Like, let's let go of it. Let it go. Let me get back to this. So we got people out here who are having mad pressure. We do it to ourselves. We allow others to do it to us, where we don't know how to ask for help, although we are struggling. We are drowning, trying to ask for help. We feel it as if we have to pull these all-nighters, or we are always available for everybody except ourselves. Everybody gets a piece of me except me. And when I do give myself a little something, it is the bare minimum. I don't know how we got here. Clearly, this program was made before I came on the scene, and I was in it too. Trust and believe, I was in it too. But at some point, there is a reckoning. Sometimes something happens, the message hits you, you're like, we can't keep doing this. And why am I doing this? Wait, what? What and why? Oh, we got to figure that out. We got to figure it out. Let's keep going, shall we? So we have this where everything is the hustle and grind. We talked about it, where we want to find success beyond the hustle culture. Keep in mind, you are defining success for yourself. And I understand that is a bigger leap to take. You're going to feel kind of funny because of how things have been set up. And when you decide to no longer be on the same pathway as everyone else, you're like, I'm out here by myself. Get used to it. Get used to being out there alone. And it's okay. It's especially okay when you are living the life that you have always wanted to live. That's a beautiful thing. There's nothing better than that. Trust. So we are talking today about reclaiming your time. We want to be more intentional and less busy. Hello, good afternoon. I am Gwendolyn, GR Houston Jack, and you are watching HJDMS Live Learning. Yes. Okay, let me break it down for you really quick before I go forward. So in the midst of offering digital marketing services to those who come to us for a variety of work, there is a coaching component for the freelancer, solopreneur, creative, because entrepreneurship is a career choice. Yes, it's a career choice. Although you may not think of it, you're like, I'm out here on my own. Okay, not so great. Just want to tell you, there is still a place for advisement. There's a place for that. And this is the component where we offer advice, mindset adjustments, a little bit of how do I do this going forward? Because the hustle and grind thing is not it. So I am the career, and we're going to say life because it really does overlap, but the career coach at HouJack Digital Marketing Solutions. And today we are talking about reclaiming your time, going from just being busy to being intentional. There is a difference. There is a quote, and I probably should have looked it up. And I want to say it's from Mark Twain about not mistaking busyness for action. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see here. And I remember using this quote with my team, so I should have really had it in my head. I really should have had it in my head of what is this quote. Let's see here. We're going to ask one of our GPT friends. I want to say it's Mark Twain, and then I say, don't quote me. I think it's Mark Twain. Let us see here. Hold on. Don't you love it? You're like, what kind of video is this? This is real, people. This is what this is. Yes. Okay. So it did talk about, from Mark Twain, action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often, right? Man, let me tell you, when you're putting it all together, it's about what are we doing? We can say a lot, but what are we doing? What are your actions really saying? Because they do speak loud. They do. They say something. We want to be more intentional with our actions. All of this right here, we want to be more intentional with our actions. So let us get back to our lesson, shall we? Let us do that. Let us do that. Now, I want to give you some ideas of how to be more intentional and how to really reclaim your time. The focus here is reclaiming your time. We don't want to just keep on doing things and not getting what we really want to get out of it. You know, there's a lot of, I remember being at work and seeing people do a lot of busy work. We want to make sure that while we're out here doing what we're doing, that it's really good for us and that we are getting what we want to get out of the time that we have. Everybody gets the same 24 hours. We all do. The question is, how are you using yours? Think about this. Busy doesn't equal productive. And urgency doesn't equal importance. Now, we talked about this. Was it last year? I don't remember. But we keep talking about the same thing because certain things have to be repeated again and again and again before it's actually recognized. Just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're getting something done. And just because it's urgent doesn't mean that it's important, especially to me. Now, it may be urgent for you, but it's not urgent for me. And I want to add one more. Ernest Hemingway, never mistake action for motion, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's great. Mistakes and mistakes. Never mistake motion for action. So you're moving, but you're not doing anything. Right? These are things I would tell my team a great deal in regards to using their time wisely. Time blocking is one of my favorites when it comes to reclaiming my time. Gotta do a little time blocking. And you don't have to be a person who loves using a calendar, and I get it, but you need something. And I know I said need, and I know need is pushing my beliefs on you, but it would be best to have some sort of strategy or system that allows you to hold yourself accountable and stay on task and time. So with that, time blocking. It is a place where you can do a lot of batch working, where things actually come together. When you are putting your priorities in order. Everything is not a priority. It just isn't. I don't care what anybody says. Everything is not a priority. For those of us who are solopreneurs, creatives, entrepreneurs, all these things, even the regular parental task, a good chunk of that stuff are self-made priorities. You can move them deadlines around as much as you wanted to. It's not like your taxes, which should be paid by a particular day. It's not like your auto loan or your electricity bill. Yes, you can pay them late. At a certain point, though, they're going to cut your lights off. Right? Those deadlines, those priorities, they're pretty set in stone. You may have a little wiggle room, but they're pretty set in stone. Whereas you saying, I must do this, do you really? Do you really have to do it right here, right now? I mean, but if you batch your work, if the idea is, I want to get this done, then you can say, great, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'm going to work on this project. Whatever gets done, gets done. That's my 80-20 mindset. I'm going to do from here to here. And then I'm walking away. I'm going to the next thing. I'm not going to stay here forever. If I started early enough, then I won't find myself rushing and trying to figure out how to get it all done. I'll be on point. I'll be where I need to be. When we talk about priorities, I'm going to just do a quick little high level overview again. These are self-made. So when you ask yourself, does it have to get done? Okay, well, actually when? Today, tomorrow, next week? When I worked in my former life as a training, hiring, quality assurance manager, I kept in my outlook when certain things had to be done. There was a task, there was a project, but it didn't have to be done today. It could be done sometime, anytime this week. Hear me? Anytime this week. Or this one, I got to get it done within the next 2 days. This one must be done today because it's this. Not everything has the same level of urgency, if it's even urgent at all. Now, for myself, there are 3 things that I pick every day that's got to get done. 3 things. And I have a notebook. I'm not going to pull it, but I do have it. Okay, I'm going to pull it. 3 things that must get done. Right? I pick 3 things that I really want to get done. And once I get them done, if there's room for other stuff, then I move on to it. And it's dated, because if I don't get it done that day, guess what? I have some other days to get it done. As long as it's done within that week, I think we're fine. The world gonna keep on turning. It's gonna be all right. And if I don't have it in me, if my emotional capacity is nil, if the body's like, sis, we ain't got it, then we're not going to stress ourselves out to get it done unless it's absolutely necessary. And that's a very tiny asterisk, because it's hardly ever absolutely necessary to run myself ragged. No, it's just not. Let's talk about managing your energy since we're there. Let's talk about managing your energy. I was having a chat not too long ago with a dear friend, and she was mentioning how I, from all appearances, I tend to manage my life and things pretty well. Now, keep in mind, this is the second career. This is a different chapter. And in this different chapter, though, I am recognizing some stuff. We have too much technology and access for us to still be doing the work the way that we're doing it. Like I said, the way we're working ain't working. It's not. It's not. I am at a place where I am designing my work around the life I am actively choosing to live. When you sit down and you ask yourself what really matters to you, what legacy you want to leave, you can't help but move through this world differently. You can't keep doing what you're doing. I'm not putting energy into something else that does not serve me. Why? Why are we still doing that? Why are we still doing that? Like, ask yourself, why are you still doing that? We are at a place where we can define our work day. We can figure out how we keep our energy and our joy and our purpose. We can do all of that and find work that allows us to have the life we want to live. We can put out good work. We don't have to be out here hustling and grinding and being at zero on the battery every single day. And for what? It's not necessary. It is not necessary. Now, what does Gwendolyn do? Okay, so we're a photographer, right? We are a photographer. That's one. I am managing this coaching and digital marketing business. That's 2. And then we are an active podcaster, 3. And just because I can, we host two independent indie TV shows. That's a lot on the plate. As well as being here for G and then being there for G's husband, family, so on and so forth. Seems like a lot, right? And like, she's doing the most. I am doing all that I want to do. I'm doing everything that the good Lord put me here to do. And because we are keeping tabs of our energy and we have designed the work around the life, we're able to do all those things. So I'm not saying this with the idea that, she's just saying some stuff. She don't know what she's talking about. Nope. Gwendolyn manages her energy. Manages my energy, manage my time, manage my attention. We do all of those things. I'm about to go on my tech disconnect. I do it twice a year. Gwendolyn goes dark. We go dark. There is never a worry of what's going to happen, what's going to do this. No, there are automations in place that allow me to make time for me and my family and then still have this doing what it's doing. It can be done. It's a choice. We have to choose these things. We have to choose us, but it is a choice. And I will tell you that rest, again, is a requirement. It's how you get all the creative ideas. You cannot keep running on E and assuming you're going to show up as your best self. It don't make sense. It ain't making dollars and it ain't making sense. Okay, let's keep going. So here's my question for you. Here is my question for you. What would your life look like if you truly owned your time? What would it look like? I need you to think on that. I need you to ponder it. I want you to look at your calendar. Look at it for alignment. Does your schedule reflect your values? That's the question. That is the question. Does it reflect it? Now, we've had this conversation. We talked about this. We talked about when you decide what success means for you. When you define it for yourself, you're going to move differently. And then when you decide how much is enough for you, you're going to move differently. So if now you're saying, I know how I define success and what that looks like for me. I know how much is enough. I don't have to have 5,000 cars to do what I need to do in this world. Time is where it's at. Time is power, right? Time is worth a great deal. When people come to me as a photographer and ask for stuff, really quick, hold up, full screen. When they ask for stuff, they're like, well, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, great. So that's going to be like, I'm just going to put out a number, $500. For that, it's the time. It's the time. You can do a family portrait session and you're thinking, okay, so I was here for 30 minutes. We have done different setups or whatever you're doing. And you think it's done. It is not done. There is a person who still now has to go back to their office, comb through all of those images, figure out what works, what doesn't work, turn around, do the editing on those images. All of that is time. So the 15, 20, 30 minutes you had in front of that person does not mean that they are done working. You're not seeing the other work. You see it in the finished product. You don't see it when you're there in front of that camera. Or it could be the videographer, or it could be the person who is a master cake designer. Because they're not baking cakes, they are building amazing creations. That fondant work, those designs, that the math that is put into creating and crafting that masterpiece, that is time, and time is money. Always. Okay, put away the soapbox. What would your life look like If you truly owned your time, and you could own your time, you could do it. If your schedule is not reflecting your values, it is time. It is time to make some changes. Think about how you're going to reclaim your time this week, this and the following week. How are you going to reclaim your time? It could just be a few minutes, 15 minutes just for you. Just reclaim 15 minutes. Before I left my full-time job, my first career, I went from accepting every meeting request that I was optional on to I ain't coming. You're not coming? That's why it says optional, does it not? If I needed to be there, you should have said you need to be here. But because you didn't, I am doing my due diligence, protecting me and saying I ain't coming. For what? So I can just sit there for another hour with a topic that has nothing to do with me? I ain't got time for that. I have other things to do. I have my things to do. Reclaim it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Whatever you can find, reclaim your time. That's what I'm telling you. That is what Gwendolyn is telling you. We got to leave this old life behind and step into a new one. Every single day is a new day, a new opportunity to get into something new. You can do it. I am here for you. You can do it. It can be done. Trust and believe. And with that, we have some upcoming events. So let me go ahead and give that to you. First things first, we have a new coaching experience coming. It's called Rooted and Rising. This is for creators who want to grow without losing themselves. And I know you're thinking, wait, what? Here's the deal. We talked about that entrepreneurship is a career choice. And we're going through this video series of discussing success, getting beyond the hustle and grind culture, reclaiming your time. So if your aligned ambition, if it's not speaking to you, right? If you're not currently doing what you want to do, you are craving a space that you can build clarity, not chaos. This is what this is for. This is for creators who want to grow without losing themselves. So if you are interested, scan the QR code. There is a waiting list. I'm looking at perhaps a August, maybe September launch because the sister's always into some things and I put time for myself. So understand who you're fighting with. But scan the QR code, get on the waiting list, and more details will be coming soon. We also have Tuesday, July 29th, 5:45. We have our third edition of our Lights, Camera, Subscribers. This is for YouTube. If you're thinking about getting into YouTube, you're like, I don't know where to start. You can come and join this group community workshop, right? This is just you dedicating time for yourself. We're discussing growth and engagement in this next one. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to do it by myself, come join us. Just come join us. Bring your open ears and an open mind, and you may walk away with something. We had a great time the other night, but we can move together. You don't have to go through this journey by yourself. Trust. You don't have to do that. I also want to add that every Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. Central, we meet in the Each One, Teach One virtual workspace for work and chill, work, connect, and thrive. We have had everybody in there, solopreneurs, photographers, people who are working for other people. Look, we're just coming together to work together. If you're remote working, and again, you don't want to be by yourself, or if you're in the office, but your current coworkers irritate the bejesus out of you, come join us. We'll keep you entertained. You can jump in and jump out as you see fit, because we all do. We are working while we are connecting and thriving. That is every Thursday at the Each One Teach One, which is again on the Go Brunch platform. So I highly suggest a laptop or a desktop. And you can get on our newsletter. We do monthly tips on selling, growing a career, overcoming obstacles, building a community. You can also see all of our upcoming events. You can go to HouJackDMS.com. There's also a Linktree link in the YouTube bio. So by all means, you could check that out there. And I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here and watching, participating. Look, we have choices. At some point, we have to recognize this life is ours. Now, I know we go through 18, 19, 20 years of someone telling us some stuff, right? At least 18 of them years. If you're lucky to figure out early on that you control what you do, then great. I say do it. If you're like me, where we're coming over some humps, it's not too late because you're here today. And every single day is a day to say, today is my day. This is for me. I'm doing it. So I invite you all to make that choice, to reclaim your time and start doing things that align with your values. Choose to design your work around the life you wish to live. That's the choice. And with that, we will see you in the next one.